Welcome back to Under Oath. Well, back to Under Oath. I'm your host, Attorney Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is nationally and internationally recognized comedian James Young.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, my friend. When are you going to bring me into court, man, as your second? By the way.
Well, I do, but they think you're the defendant half the time.
Oh, dang it. I walked right into that. Yeah, I did.
Are we in criminal court? No, this is my associate.
Dun-dun. I just bring the little sound effect with me
I
from Law and
don't
Order.
practice law. I just only on TV.
Criminal court cases. Boom, boom.
Oh, TV. Ugh.
That's it.
You know, I'm glad you didn't do it right because I think we can be sued for doing that.
Okay, got it. Perfect.
Yeah, I think somebody actually, believe it or not, they own
that sound.
Yes, they own it.
Probably Dick Wolf.
Yeah, he's rich.
Now, was Dick Wolf ever a lawyer?
I don't know, but he rich.
Yeah, he writes a lot about law.
I think anybody can.
Really?
Yeah, they make it up.
But do they? Because I watch a lot.
Our politicians make it up, so I know they do.
That's so funny because you ain't lying about that. Yeah. You know, I love watching law shows. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Law and Order. I watched every single one. I think there's 13 different versions now. My favorite is in Spanish. That's my
Law and Order Telemundo.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Maria. Yes. And I love them. And I love watching.
Es un criminale.
Oh, that perfect. You got it.
That'd be La Criminale, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
My favorite thing is the court because they go crazy. I want to go to court now just to watch as a spectator because the way the lawyers act on the show. You know what we're talking about when they're like, no, this, Your Honor, you got to do this because my client. Now, my question is, do lawyers really get that hyped up? Do they really go crazy like that in court?
Most of it's boring.
Okay. Really?
Yeah, I warn juries before we start.
It's not drama? There's no
I
drama?
warn them before we start. I said, It's not going to be the TV stuff you're used to. But every once in a while.
Okay.
Every once in a while, you lose your mind.
Now, lawyer?
Up in here.
Do you really lose your mind, Jeff?
You get caught up when somebody does something so filthy or something happens so wrong that you forget your decorum. You're in suits, you're in ties, and I've gotten in such trouble.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm dramatic.
Are you?
Oof.
Have you told like the whole court you're out of order? This whole system's out of order? Close. Okay, good.
I still remember because Craig was livid at me because we were trying a case together last year in Tennessee. And a judge said something and I went straight to my cousin Vinny.
No.
I did. When he goes, when he doesn't rule in his favor, he says something and he goes, that's a big effing surprise.
Wow.
I said something like that.
Ooh.
And it was more on the lines of like I was expecting you to rule in my favor.
Ooh.
It just was. And this judge goes,
oh,
that is the most offensive thing I have ever heard in my courtroom. And instead of apologizing immediately, I go,
no, you doubled down?
I doubled down with a look. And a look can get you in more trouble than words in a courtroom. And it was at the end of the day. And we're packing up. And he's stewing. I could feel the judge is on fire.
I bet he was.
And we still have about 2 or 3 more days of this trial. But we had been getting beaten so badly.
Gotcha.
We've been home teamed so badly in this situation. Stuff is getting in that they're putting in they shouldn't be allowed to put in. They're not putting our stuff in. I could tell it's unfair.
Yes.
And Craig and I are driving back to our Airbnb that night. And he goes, you're going to have to apologize. I go,
no, I'm not doing it. Yep, that's what we do. Yep.
And it was the next day with a little more favorable rulings all day. And at the end of the day, we're packing up and he's still sitting there. And I said this. I said, Your Honor, sometimes I get a little too passionate about this stuff. And, I'm sorry about that.
Gotcha.
Now, I didn't say what it was about. And he said to me, he goes, yeah, it was a long drive home for me yesterday. He goes, but by the time I got home, I understood what you might have been talking about.
Look at that. A little mutual understanding.
As a judge, there are 2 ways to act. You can understand what's going on, or you could be an a-hole.
And they can.
And power can lead to becoming an a-hole.
Got it.
And as a judge, everyone kisses your ass so much, it's like being a celebrity.
Oh.
Except you can put people in jail.
So that can play on your psyche.
Yeah. It could turn you into a really bad person.
Got you.
And I've known a lot of judges in my 3 decades of practicing law. And I've seen guys who were nice guys who let that get to them.
Got it.
And they immediately went to this place where all the time they think they're the most important person
In the room.
instead of going, I am the arbitrator. I'm the guy who allows things to move cleanly instead of I'm the king of this.
Got it.
This is my courtroom and I do what I please. And they do things and say things that are ridiculous, offensive, and they don't follow the law. And then they're the guys who go, you know what? This is a privilege for me to be here. I have a job. If you are on the Supreme Court right now, go F yourself.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
There's no way you guys know as much law as you do and rule the exact opposite way.
Wow. No, why does that happen, Jeff?
Political bias.
Got it.
That's it.
Say no more.
That is it.
Got
You
it.
are ruling solely on your politics. And you got in front of Congress. You got in front of everybody saying, no, I won't do that. And you have the most important responsibility as any lawyer or judge on the planet right
Yes.
now. You change our country every decision you make. And when you make them solely based on your politics,
You're not
go
doing
F yourself.
You're not doing the country
And you're going to say,
Yeah.
and there are people out there go, Jeff, you can't say that to a judge. I said, I'm not saying that to a particular judge. I'm saying that there's 9 of you and that you guys vote on the other side every other time, other than the most benign stuff. You know what you're doing and you're screwing with our country and you should stop.
So I like the fact you shared with me that sometimes you get a little passionate and you say things to a judge you shouldn't say.
Oh, yeah.
So can I give you some advice from one legal person
Sure.
to another legal person?
Sure.
Because, I'm officially in this business. There's this old saying that I learned in my law school called Me, Myself, and I. Don't start none, won't be none. When it comes to talking to a judge, leave them alone.
You have to push the envelope.
You think so? Because if you don't, they're going to push you.
They're going to rule against you to satisfy their own beliefs.
Gotcha. And if you don't push back?
If they don't think it matters to you, it's not going to matter to them.
Good point.
So you can't be a pushover. I mean, there are many times I've had a judge say to me, I appreciate your passion.
Okay.
That doesn't mean to be disrespectful. I have been disrespectful to judges, and that happens in the moment. And judges have been ridiculously disrespectful to me.
Okay.
I have to be aware of that. I have to try to avoid doing that. But if you're not willing to walk up to that line for a client,
should be a lawyer.
then you probably shouldn't be doing that. And I'm
Okay.
not talking about pounding tables and stuff like that. But if you are not a zealous advocate for the person sitting next to you, then you're just taking a paycheck.
Got it.
I see guys on TV all the time talk about, oh, I got him this money, I got him that money.
Yeah.
Your firm got him that money. You didn't get him that money. You're the face of your firm, and there's nothing wrong with being the face of your firm. I just think it's a little disingenuous. I think when these people hire you, they think they're hiring you, not the firm. And they find that out afterwards, and they go, okay, I get it.
Yes.
I have clients talk to me all the time.
They do.
And they will call you in the middle of the day, middle of the night.
Because I've seen these people walk up to you when you have events. Jeff was my lawyer. Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll want to talk about your case. And, we represent a certain amount of people that a lot of them, I can talk to them about their case without looking it up. Sometimes there's so many facts that's possible.
Gotcha.
But I have a lot of memories. Like when somebody in my office says, hey, you got the case in Tennessee right now, I said, which one is that? And they'll go, oh, car accident with this one. Okay, got it.
Got it.
Or slipped at a Walmart, one of the bikes he got self-destructed that they put together. Okay, got it. But it really involves you deciding who you want to be as a lawyer. Do you just want to be the face of your firm, or do you want to still be helping people person by person?
Want to be hands-on?
Or do you want to be Walmart? So
there you go.
If somebody asks me, who do I want to be as a law firm? I want to be that guy who knows everybody who works in my law firm.
And you are?
About 10 years ago, I owned a law firm where we had about 500 people.
It's a lot of people.
I'd get on the elevator and there'd be 13 people I would know.
That were like, hey, Jeff. You're like, hey, guys.
Yeah. And I wouldn't even know what to say to them.
Gotcha.
If I didn't know the name of everybody who worked in my office right now, I'd be a piece of crap. And that's just how I feel.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. I see guys wanting to scale their law firms to be 500, 600, 1,000 people. We're the biggest, we're the largest. I don't want that.
Yeah.
Because I also can't maintain quality.
It must be hard with that many people that you don't touch every day. Yeah.
The rule in business is this. After 50 people, you have to have a good system.
There you go.
You have to have a system that will find and root out any bad person here. I discovered after 50, 10% of your people are going to suck.
Mm.
And you don't find out about it till they screwed something up.
Gotcha.
And then they don't care if they get fired. Some of them will just sneak out before you could fire them and before you find out what they've been doing wrong.
Before it catches up with them, they're like, I'm out.
You can't have 500 all-stars.
No, you
It
can't.
doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work. No, it doesn't.
But you can if your number is below 50. Just the way that works out. Welcome back to Under Oath. Attorney Jeff Kaufman here with my partner, Craig Lind, an attorney who needs no introduction, but got one anyway.
Well, thank you, Jeff. That's very flattering.
Yeah, because they just call you the big dude.
That's also very flattering.
It's the big guy. I know.
Yeah,
You like the big
that.
guy thing.
Yeah, that's all right.
Okay, Valentine's Day.
Oh, Valentine's Day. Oh, my
In other
goodness.
words, my significant other's day. That's what they call it. My significant other's day.
Who
Because
calls
it's never
it that?
about you.
Who calls it that?
Every man. Because it's not my day, but I got to do a bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, you got to do all the things.
Yes.
You have to do
Christmas is a
all
great
the-
day for me because I'm a Jew. I don't have to do
You
anything.
have to do all the goofy,
I get the day off, but
corny
nothing.
things. You got to get the flowers. You got to get the chocolate. You got to get the stuffed bear. You got to do all of it. They say they don't want it. Guys, they'll tell you, oh, don't do that.
Oof.
Whatever you do,
Don't
don't
buy into
listen
that.
to
Don't
them.
buy into that.
They want all
It's
of
a
it.
trap.
They want the flowers.
trap.
They want the teddy bear. They want the chocolate. They want to see effort. Don't buy into, oh, don't go get me
Don't
anything.
worry about it. We've had enough of those.
Yes. Don't listen to that. That is a trap.
Yes.
Trust me.
Oof.
Go get all the stuff, all the corny things.
What am I going to do with another stuffed animal?
yeah,
Not beat me to death with it.
You'd
That's what
rather have that be the argument than, I can't believe you did nothing. You lazy SOB.
Well, they don't say it to you, though.
No,
they don't say it. They give you
they'll
that.
imply it. Yeah, if you have enough time, since that seems to be a problem for you, maybe you could get some milk on the way home. If you have enough time, and it'll be like that. And then you'll know, oh, I screwed up by not getting her the flowers.
They have that sound
and
they
the
do,
teddy
too.
bear. Yep. Get the stuff. Be that corny dude that gets all the Valentine's Day stuff.
Oh, I can't believe you did all this.
Yes.
It's so unnecessary.
Yes, and then they'll post pictures of it all over social media. This unnecessary thing that you did.
And
that they
piss
wanna
off
make sure
every
that all their
other
friends
woman
know.
who didn't
Yeah.
get all the stuff.
Oh, you're screwed if you don't do it. You have to do it.
And I had a routine I used to do about this when I did a little stand-up. And the routine was about Valentine's Day and the flowers, that the flowers have to arrive early. Because if they don't, that means everybody in the office got their flowers before yours. You know,
It needs to be there the 12th.
it had to be there. Like, yeah.
The
But
12th.
I mean, it's like at 8:00, the bombs are going off in the office and you're sweating, hoping that your
that's
your flowers
Jeff,
got there.
That is a great point. If your lady works somewhere, and this particular Valentine's Day is Saturday, all right, you will get a C, maybe C minus if you get her the flowers that show up on Valentine's Day. You want the A plus? Send the flowers to her office Wednesday before so that everybody in the office can see that she is taken care of. She's loved. She loves that. Trust me.
Okay, guys, I want you to listen to these lines because I'm a little bit of a writer. I sent these early because you deserve 4 days, not just one.
Oh, that's good. You got that. You got that from ChatGPT.
And,
didn't
no,
you? Yes,
no,
you did.
no.
Oh,
I
you
just
lied.
came up with it. You know
You
why?
lied. You didn't
Because
come up with nothing.
if you don't, they're going to go, oh, he was just cheap and didn't want to buy the flowers get delivered on Valentine's Day. Because the flowers are 3 times more expensive on the 14th than they are the 13th.
Are they?
Yeah.
I would think that the flower shops would be onto that scam by now.
No,
No?
because women are
I think
onto
the
that
whole
scam.
week. The whole week is expensive.
No, trust me. Look it up. Call it. Well, you never do it.
I never do it.
You have people.
What are you talking about? I
You have people. You
No, I
don't call
don't.
the florist.
I absolutely call florist.
I've been there.
No, I actually go to the florist.
I
I
have
don't
been
call.
there. I have been there. I've been there where we have people. They go, hey, you want flowers with
a
Craig's?
couple of times.
You want
and
flowers with
earlier-
Craig's?
Yeah,
Craig's
yeah,
doing it. You
yeah.
want a pair too?
Yeah.
I go, well, Craig's doing it. You got people, man. See, he looks like he's a trucker. He looks like the bat. He looks like the guy who Superman runs across the counter in the Superman 1 movie, but he's not. He's got money. So don't pretend. You know, he wears the cock hat and the
I don't
hat
have
and the
money.
boots.
I don't have money.
He's got money.
I don't have any money.
But he's married to a Brazilian, which means she has money.
She has whatever I have is hers. If you
Yes.
don't believe me, ask her.
Now, legal issues. Valentine's Day always has a problem because let's say you buy her a nice gift. You buy her the engagement ring
On
on the
Valentine's
wedding day. And guys do that. I would not confuse the two. But for some reason, guys think this is a great day to get engaged.
No.
You have to make it clear it's not, because
No.
then they start expecting it on that day.
You can't ever top that then.
Ooh, never.
Every Valentine's Day afterwards is going to be disappointing. Don't do that to yourself. You're setting yourself up for future failure. Do not propose to her on Valentine's Day.
The first time I got married, it was Valentine's Day, and I got this nice gift. And I told her to close her eyes at the table.
You didn't take my advice?
I didn't know you. Okay. This was 30 years
this is
ago.
obvious.
This was 30 years ago when I was a lot
Dumb.
less intelligent than I am now. A little less intelligent. So what happened was I get her this nice bracelet. I go, close your eyes. And she opens it up. I got the bracelet. She thought I was going to give her a ring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God. And she kind of goes like this.
Now she's disappointed.
And I don't understand, because I'm basically, one step off the chart in the evolution chart from ape, and I don't get it. And she's looking at me, and she didn't tell me for like a week later. She goes, well,
yeah,
you know
can't ever, no, don't do the close. No. If you have a,
never close your eye thing. Don't be
or-
cute. Just break out the gift and make sure it's in a long box. It cannot be confused with a ring. In fact, put it in a big box. Go get Amazon, order like an inner tube or something.
Oh, careful. You don't want to get too big either, because then you're going to disappoint them that, it's this big box. And then I keep opening it up and it's a bag of Milk Duds.
Have you ever given a crappy gift like that? What's the crappiest gift you've ever given?
Oh my gosh. I've given lots of crappy gifts. They're usually re-gifts. It's usually
Like
the
a bottle?
crappiest gift I've ever given is usually the crappiest gift I've ever got, because I don't actually use it. I just rewrap it and then give it to somebody else.
In his office yesterday, if you give him something, it stays. If he buys something and you don't like it, he puts it in his office for the hell of it. He had this Halloween weird, like
the Annabelle
female
doll?
Chucky or whatever with the blacked out eyes staring at me from his bookcase. And I go, why is this here?
Well, it's there because I bought it. I thought it would be cute to put it in my little girl's room.
6 years old.
It turned out that was not a good idea. I had to actually take it out of the house and put it in the trunk. It wasn't allowed to stay in the house at all.
But this is who he is. He can't throw it away. So now he has to find a place in his
So I brought it
office
in the
for
office.
this hideous thing.
I was going to give it to one of the girls, but none of them wanted either.
You're a hoarder.
I threw it away yesterday.
I
How
made
can
you
say
throw it
I'm-
away.
You suggested.
No, what I told him was I can always get Craig to do something if I say it's got bad mojo to it. He gets
I don't want bad luck.
superstitious.
Yeah, I don't.
I go,
want bad luck.
listen,
I'm a little
that's an evil
superstitious.
doll to have in here when we're trying to
It
do
kinda,
well.
but to your credit, it does kind of look a little evil. And I do like watching the horror movies that have the dolls that make everything bad for everyone around them.
Like the porcelain ones.
Yeah, those are scary to me. I don't know why, but they are. So
Who decided to do porcelain? Somebody goes, it would be a good idea.
Because those are old-fashioned dolls.
Porcelain.
Yeah.
I know, but they were hard.
Yeah, they got to look old-fashioned.
It wasn't like, hey,
You
let's
can't
just
like throw a Barbie in the corner and go, "Ooh, it's evil Barbie." That's not going to work.
No.
You got to have something that's really old, ancient doll. Like Barbie Malibu is just not going to ever pull it off on a scary movie.
What do you think about real life Barbie? For a while, they were making Barbies with like regular waists and things like that. Like woke Barbie.
Oh, fat Barbie?
Not fat Barbie, just
Yeah.
regular
My
Barbie.
wife gets mad at me when my little girl has a fat Barbie. It's okay.
You sure it's a Barbie and not like one of those weird versions?
No, it's fat Barbie.
Come on, who comes up with that? You think she's happier with fat Barbie than like
No, she doesn't even notice that there's any real difference. It's just
they don't?
different size. The kids, no, they don't know. It's all everyone who gets worked up, it's because the parents are worked up. All right, they're happy they got a doll to play with.
Okay, let's change the sex of this child for 10 seconds. I give my kid fat Spider-Man. Hell no. That kid's going to go, why? Why did you do this to me? I can't play with this.
Yeah, he doesn't look heroic.
No, there's nothing heroic.
He's not.
There's no way the webs are going to hold him.
Swing into the pizza shop.
You're not swinging on that. You weigh 260. You're not. That's like me. I'm not swinging across anything. I'm scared to death of those zip lines that it won't hold me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I think it applies to both. Like Superman looks a little chunky. Looks more like the
I would
Shoney's
think
big
that
boy.
if I was a boy, I wouldn't want the chunky version of all the heroes. I would think that would distract me.
Yeah, I go.
Like they're supposed to look like the part, right? You want them to look heroic, and you don't look heroic if you look like you're 2 cheeseburgers away from a heart attack.
Name a male superhero that was big.
Was fat?
Big.
Why are we using the euphemism? They mean fat.
Because there are a lot of.
It's okay to be
Listen,
fat.
I was fat.
Listen, everybody's been fat once.
Listen, I'm still not great, but 40 pounds heavier. I look at pictures of myself. I go, ooh. I hear myself walk, and I hear the Godzilla sounds.
Oh yeah, aren't you glad you lost it? Don't you feel better? Don't you have more energy?
I live longer.
Don't you have more energy? Oh
my God, they have a commercial out there right now.
Oh, I saw it.
Oh my God.
You're talking about the one they did during the game.
Oh my God, during the football game.
This fat
no
MFer gets on my TV
and starts lecturing me not to tell him.
Lecturing me about how it is that I'm supposed to react to seeing his gluttonous face on my screen. Lose the weight. It has never been easier. Lizzo's losing weight now. She's in trouble for losing weight because her entourage or her fans thought that she was going to be the champion of the body positivity movement. But now she's losing weight. Why is she doing it?
Listen, there are medical conditions that some people have. But even with that, we now have shots and everything else that, the shots aren't safe. Well, they're a lot safer than carrying an extra 50 pounds on you.
They get mad when you tell them that it's unhealthy. You're in trouble if you say it's unhealthy. If you present them with actual scientific evidence of the fact that being obese is not healthy for them in the long run, they think that is an attack on them.
Well, I normally don't offer it up. But here's the thing to this dude. I know you're an actor. Could you have seen that waiting room when they're casting that part? And the guy goes, I have a shot. Well, look at this dude. You got no shot.
We need somebody.
We need somebody who just looks ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, that's him. Yeah, there's the guy.
Yeah, it's not. They couldn't get a regular guy who's like, there's a heavy guy in every office. This dude looked like the Michelin man.
This was an obese man. This was absolutely.
This was
obese.
the most unhealthy person I've ever seen in my life. It was like that.
You know what was sad is the guy on the TV was offended that people care enough about him to tell him that he's screwing up.
But it's not him. It's a character.
I understand that, but we see these people in real life too. They are offended that people care enough about, you know what? You should be glad that somebody cares enough to have that uncomfortable conversation with you.
Do you know how many people, I had a friend of mine.
You know how easy it would be to just let you get as big as you want until you die?
I had a friend of mine, Clay, sculptor. In the middle of the night, we were hanging out. It's like 1 a.m. at a comic book convention. And he goes, Jeff, I got to talk to you about something serious. And I thought somebody died. And he goes, you are really effing fat.
You never told me this. When was this?
It was San Diego Comic Con.
I have to know. What year?
It was 20.
Last year?
2011. And I was there with Dave, who was running my studio at the time, different Dave. And he actually told both of us, he goes, you two are really effing fat. Now, I was hysterical. Why? Because I knew I was fat. I was comfortable with my eating. Dave, I'm sure, was the most offended person in the world, like lost his mind, and I'm laughing hysterically. But it did hit me a couple years later that he wasn't trying to be mean to me. And at that time, I wonder if I would have taken care of my health 10 years later, what the effect on my longevity is. My joints, like my knees aren't that great now, and I blame it on jumping out of airplanes for the military, but I think it probably had to do with carrying a lot more weight for many years.
Sure.
So when I see a guy like that trying to lecture me, if I'm your friend, dude, let's call him John.
If I'm really
John, if I'm your friend, and I don't say anything to you, I want you to die. I want you to be dead tomorrow. Because if I care 10 seconds for you, I'm going to say, John, come on, dude. I want you in my life for a long time. This is not okay. Being that grossly overweight is like the same as being on drugs. You know, it's my job as a friend to go.
That is incredibly unhealthy. Stop doing this very, very unhealthy thing to you. Stop. Just stop.
I mean, so we made a little light of it. But the fact is, if you're a good friend, you go, hey, listen, I'll walk with you. If I'm not good with you, I'll go on a program with you because it's easier for two people to succeed than one. And if you've had a good friend, well, I can't do it. I've seen people on the shots
Yeah, I've seen people on the shots.
Let me make it clear. You have Rebel Wilson right now, and they're going, oh, she didn't do the shots, or all these other people. And
They don't want to admit they do the shots, but they do the shots.
But the reality is, to go, well, later on, you're going to pay. You're going to pay from the weight. You're going to have a heart attack and die tomorrow. Yes, we might find out 20 years from now, this thing might have caused a certain form of cancer and something else like that. But your fat will cause cancer way before this shot. And when you say to me, Jeff, hey, listen, I did it. I admit it. I couldn't do it because at a certain age, your body doesn't take the weight off as easy. I felt bad having to do it. I didn't want to do it. But you know what? It was the smartest thing I ever did. And I'm okay with it. And if later on in my life, something happens because of these shots, I'm going to go, well, I could have died from a heart attack at 62 rather than have an issue at 78.
It's the same as saying, oh, well, you better not jog because you might get hit by a car while you're out there jogging. Yeah, true. True, that is a possibility.
The guy one of the big marathon runners, where Jim Fixx wrote this book and everything else, and he died running. And people make that joke, oh, he died running. He had died 10 years earlier if he didn't run. So if you don't want the support, if I'm a stranger and I walk up to you and I'm like, hey, Billy Bob, lay off the barbecue, I'm an a-hole for doing that. If Billy Bob is my friend and I don't say it, I'm an a-hole for not saying it. So you want to be mad? Be mad. Fact is, I don't care. I know the world I live in, and I want you to live longer. If that's not good enough for you, pound sand. Welcome back to Under Oath. Today we have producer and director Dan Farah. Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I got to tell you, Dan, I've been talking about this for a little bit. You just came out with this fantastic film, and The Age of Disclosure, which deals with unidentified UFOs, UAPs, whatever we want to call them now. And I'm always so amazed at how we're just not even paying attention to this. The average person's like going, oh, let's argue about what's going on in Minnesota. Forget we actually are being visited by people from other planets. And it's scary.
Yeah, it's a new reality. And I think this film is opening the public's eyes to the truth that's been long hidden. I interviewed 34 really high-level military, government, and intelligence officials, and they all collectively broke their silence to reveal that there's been an 80-year cover-up of the existence of non-human intelligent life. And on top of that, elements of the U.S. government that were involved in covering this up are in a longstanding secret Cold War race with adversarial nations to reverse engineer this technology of non-human origin. And the stakes couldn't be higher. It's a situation that impacts every single one of us. So the public deserves to know the base facts, the base truth.
So it sounds basically, it's not to save religion. It's not to protect our feelings. It's all about technology that we're getting from these possible downed ships and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a significant technology race happening. A number of the film's interview subjects refer to it as the Manhattan Project on steroids. The Manhattan Project was our secret effort to win the atomic race.
I mean, we're not just talking about, you got, this is an ex-Air Force guy. You got Marco Rubio. You got significant members of Congress. We spent millions on hearings just last year. I mean, why do you think we're just basically ignoring it as people?
Well, I think that there's a lot of reasons this has not gotten the attention it deserves over the years, but I do think this film marks a turning point. This film has gotten the coverage it deserves. I've been on CNN and Fox a number of times in the last month, like Joe Rogan, a lot of other big platforms that are helping shine a light on it. I think the public is really having their eyes open to the reality of this. In the past, the people who have covered this up have done so for a number of reasons. We get into them in the film. One big reason in the past, I think, that the folks involved in covering this up didn't think the public could handle the truth. They thought it would, rock people's belief systems too much. It would be just too much of a shock. But I think we're past that. I think the average person can handle the truth on this, the basic facts, and deserves to know them. At the end of the day, our tax dollars are what this secret program is using to cover this up, and that on a base level just isn't right. The average person deserves to know fundamental truths like we're not alone in the universe. Fundamental truths like our country is involved in a longstanding UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, and that we are in a high stakes race with adversarial nations. Another reason a number of the officials have told me they wanted to participate is, this high stakes race we're in, this technology race, we need all the bright minds in our country contributing towards it. And how can you win a technology race if 99% of the scientists in this country don't even know it's real?
It's so hard because we say we're ready for it. And I don't know. We have wars all over this planet that we are pushing religion, we're pushing everything. And if UAPs exist, and if they had anything to do with our development as a species, it kills every religion. I mean, how many people go to church? How many people go to mosques? How many people go to synagogues? That this could potentially blow away their complete belief system.
I mean, look, there's historically been a lot of concern about how the truth about this could impact religion. But, a number of the people I interviewed talk about how they don't think that will be the case, that, certain belief systems, can wrap their heads around this, and that, life from elsewhere could fit the same religious beliefs. But, we'll see. It's difficult for people to accept things that challenge their belief systems, their worldviews. That's just human nature, but that's also how we evolve, right? We, over the years, humanity keeps learning there's more out there than we thought we, knew.
Listen, I believe in this. I understand how we scam people. I understand. I've been a lawyer for 30 years. I've watched, laws get passed. I've seen the way government works, and it is spooky that when we're trying to push something, an agenda, I mean, our whole history could be changed by some of the information we could get. I mean, forget the technology. God forbid one of these ships drop and just lets us know everything and says, hey, listen, we've been here before. We were involved in your histories. We realized that we were dangerous to your. I mean, there's so many different things that could change the way our whole belief of the world exists.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think, look, a number of the intelligence officials in my film feel it's important to share with the public what they lawfully can now, before something happens. And then they're playing catch up. There could always be that black swan event where a very public event happens where the truth is very quickly exposed to all of humanity in a single moment. There's also the reality that this is a global situation, and we could all wake up one day and Putin or Xi could tell the world the truth about this. So I think that the 34 people I interviewed are really brave and thoughtful, and took a lot of risk to step out of the shadows and share what they lawfully could now, because they felt that was important.
I mean, Dan, you've taken a significant risk. This is not, your career is on the line. You Ready Player One. I mean, you were involved with significant movies, and suddenly you're going to go, okay, we're gonna lean into the UAP thing, and we're going to do these things. And I'm sure your managers, a bunch of people in your life, go, hey, are you sure you want to do this?
Yeah, look, it's definitely a departure from. In the last 20 years, I've been producing big films and TV shows, like you mentioned, Ready Player One, the Steven Spielberg movie. But, I grew up, my childhood was the 80s and early 90s. So I grew up on movies like Close Encounters and E.T. and TV shows like X-Files. And, like a lot of people around the world, that pop culture piqued my curiosity. It made me interested in this topic, and it made me ask those big questions like, are we alone in the universe? Does the U.S. government know more about this than the public does? My whole life, I've been fascinated with it as a result, and watched every movie on the topic, read most books on the topic. And I always wished that a film like this existed, a film that only interviewed extremely credible people that have direct knowledge as a result of working for the U.S. government. And it just never existed. So when after Ready Player One, I was doing research for another project on this topic, dealing with UFOs, big studio film, and I through that process, I ended up getting connected with a few intelligence officials who had worked on the UFO topic for the government. As I got to know them and form relationships with them, and they started to share information with me that they lawfully could, it blew my mind how real the situation is and how real it's treated behind the scenes. And it was then that I kind of just flipped the switch, and I just decided, I've got to make that documentary that I always wish existed. There's a path. I had a path to do it. I had these relationships. They could open more doors for me. And so, yeah, it made a lot of sense to me. It's the film I always wished existed. The conversations I was having were, the information I was learning was information that the average person deserved to hear. And, I kind of took it as a personal challenge to pull off making this film that I always wish existed. And I made it for 3.5 years in secrecy, independently financed, had to build relationships with every single person in the film and earn their trust. And, had a clear vision for it, which is just only interview people who have direct knowledge of this topic as a result of working for the U.S. government. Keep the conversations very sober and serious, no sensationalism. I socialized with all of them who I was interviewing, so they all knew who they'd be arm in arm with. Everyone stuck to the agreement of, just a cone of silence around the whole situation until it's done. And, the world didn't know about it until we dropped the trailer online. We really managed to do it all in secrecy by doing it independently. It didn't involve any, big studio or network. So yes, it was a departure from everything I'd done before, but it was also just right in line with my own personal interest and, something I wish existed. I just decided to bring it into existence myself,
You mentioned before that there's a possibility that our government and the governments of all these other countries might want to slowly ease us into this because of, we don't want to be just suddenly shocked by, hey, we have them. And no, we've told you about this before. We knew this exists before. I don't, it's tough for me because there's a fine line between conspiracy and, yeah, this is actually true. And some conspiracies actually are truthful. I mean, the idea that, we don't have UFOs, we have UAPs. I mean, what are you, stupid? And the answer is yes. We are absolutely idiots that we bought that they go, oh, no, we're not discussing UFOs. We're discussing UAPs. What's the difference?
Well, look, I think there really, sincerely, were valid reasons for using the term UAP instead of UFO. So one of the intelligence officials I interviewed, a very senior intelligence official named Jay Stratton, he was the director of the U.S. government's UAP task force, the largest whole of government investigation of UAP. When he was briefing senior leadership about this issue, he found it challenging to use the word UFO because there's a stigma in our country around that word, and it gets this like giggle factor. It just doesn't get taken seriously. And, it really prevented him from getting certain leaders in our government to have serious conversations about it. On top of that, a lot of the activity that is being seen is not only in our skies, it's also in our oceans. And, an object moving, in unprecedented ways underneath the ocean is not flying. So the term that actually Jay Stratton put in play to replace UFO was unidentified anomalous phenomena, which is a catch-all for all anomalous activity, whether it's in the sky, in space, or in our oceans. And it also avoids that giggle factor that came with UFO. And to his credit, it really did help contribute towards this topic being taken more seriously and sort of a point of view change on it. I don't think we'd be in the place we are now for disclosure if we were still using these words like UFO that have that stigma attached to them and that don't really appropriately cover everything. So yeah, I think it does make sense. Look, the reality is, one of the other things revealed in my film is that the folks who have been covering this up for 80 years are responsible for creating that stigma. Originally, they created it in the late 40s, early 50s as a way to deter people from looking into this. They wanted to stay in the shadows. They wanted to keep this all secret while they worked on it. And to be honest, it's kind of a genius plan. If you don't want the average Joe looking into something, convince the public they'd be crazy if they looked into it. Their reputations would be ruined, right? And that worked. And unfortunately, it kind of backfired because it got so ingrained in our culture and it got compounded over the years. And it got to the point where now the average person, including the average scientist in academia, doesn't think it's real, right? And that became a problem because we are in this high stakes technology race with adversarial nations.
Yeah.
And it's challenging to win a technology race when 99% of your scientists don't know it's real, right? The analogy made to me is the space race. Would we have won the space race if Kennedy didn't step to the microphone and tell the United States and the world at large that the U.S. is determined to win the space race? We are going to put all our brain power and resources towards it, and we're going to win, and we're going to lead in space. He gave that amazing speech at Rice University. Would we have won it if that wasn't the context, if it was all done in secrecy? Most people say no, they don't think we would have. And so, this is a topic that has even bigger stakes, and it requires a lot more resources and a lot more brain power. And everyone in my film felt like it was in our best interest as a nation for the public to be caught up on these base facts and rally behind our government taking this more seriously and making it a much bigger national priority.
Now, when I see people like you and people take these big risks, whether it be in business, whether it be creatively, I mean, this was a monster risk to take, and now you've done it, and you're going, okay, do I keep leaning into this, or do I go back to fiction? I mean, I can't imagine your choice. This movie comes out, and you're going, okay, what's next? So I guess my question is, what's next, Dan?
Well, I'm still in the thick of the release of this, but certainly I've considered whether to do a follow-up film regarding this topic. I'm involved in a lot of projects that I'm developing. We'll see what comes together next. I certainly want to see what happens on the government side in reaction to this. There's a number of senior members of Congress who are actively working on legislation, a bill they want to propose to further bring out disclosure. There's also a number of senior members of Congress who are working on trying to figure out how to offer amnesty to people that are remaining in the shadows on this, people who have worked on these secret programs and been involved in covering this issue up. Senior members of Congress want to create essentially a safe off-ramp for them. A lot of people who have been involved in covering this up are currently terrified to step out of the shadows and share what they know because they think they'll end up in jail or worse. And I think enough senior members of Congress have realized that is the lay of the land. And so from there, you only have two paths. You put your head in the sand and you just never learn anything new, or you create an off-ramp for those people. You offer them some sort of real, not whistleblower protection, like real amnesty. And then they can, hopefully share what they know, at least with senior members of Congress in classified settings. So I want to see what happens with all that. I want to see if we get to a moment where U.S. president is prepared to step to the microphone and confirm all this for the American people. I want to see what happens, and then decide, if it makes sense to do a follow up, and if so, what the focus of it would be, But I certainly loved this experience of directing for the first time. I loved making a documentary. So I doubt it'll be the last.
Well, I can't tell you, when I see somebody do something as brave in the decision you made, I mean, it's, it gives me faith in, a lot of people, the world we live in, and I can't thank you enough for doing it. The The movie's called The Age of Disclosure. It's out right now. We have Dan Farah, who did a fantastic job. And I can't tell you, Dan, I appreciate everything you've done and look forward to talking to you soon. Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.